Welcome back to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, we have Ed Felton. He's a professor of computer science and policy affairs at Princeton University, as well as the former deputy chief technology officer at the White House under President Obama's administration. Thank you so much, Ed, for joining us at Market Site. That's pretty cool. Let's learn more about your experience in the White House.
Well, it's a job really unlike any other. It was an amazing experience just to be there, to be part of how those decisions are made, and to see how the president and senior advisors do things. It's really, there's an amazing sense of leverage that you can do so much good there. And it's really sort of an all-consuming job.
Well, I mean, it's clear that there's a challenge with the government evolving. I mean, it's a big machine, and technology just evolves so quick these days. What were some of the challenges with rapidly changing technology and integrating it on a government platform?
Well, there's really a couple main things. One is how can we make sure the government uses technology as well as it can? And that's all about bringing in people from industry who know how to use technology effectively. And it's all about bulldozing the sort of bureaucratic barriers that are in the way. And there was a lot of effort made during that. And I think the government's doing better than it was at that time. The other piece of this is regulation. That is making sure that regulation and law enforcement is keeping up to date. And that's all about being able to look ahead and make sure that what the government is doing is future-proof. That is, that you're thinking ahead about what's going to come down the road and making sure that you're not thinking too short term.
Are they receptive to newer technologies like blockchain and AI and machine learning and predictive analytics?
Absolutely. There are folks in the government who understand that stuff as well as anybody. And there's huge leverage from being able to apply these technologies at the scale that government can do it. So there's a lot of interest. And folks in the government are aware of what's happening in the private sector and trying to make sure they keep up.
All right, now what about the blockchain adoption cycle? We focus on blockchain a lot at Nasdaq, anything that's very transactional. Clearly the benefit is there. Where do you think we are at this point?
I mean, I think we're through the first phase. There was an initial wave of excitement. We're seeing now a little bit of a dose of reality, but long term, this is a technology that really solves problems. And so I'm very optimistic about where it's going to go. And I think we're going to see a new generation of blockchain technologies emerging soon that's going to make a big difference and will make blockchain really effective as a platform for more and bigger enterprise type of applications.
Especially as they build out the ecosystem, integrating into legacy systems. And I think what's so encouraging, when I do a lot of blockchain coverage here, 2017 and 2018 seem to be the theory behind it. 2019, so much practical application. And that's really encouraging.
Right. It's all about making it work and solving the problems that users and application developers have.
All right, let's learn more about what you have going on with Princeton.
Well, so we've been doing a lot of work there. There's been a huge wave of excitement about computer science there and about the interaction between computer science and public life and public policy. People don't think of Princeton as a computer science school, but computer science is one of the biggest majors there. And computer science courses are the largest courses on campus. So, and the reason for that, I think, is just that computer science is not only a super interesting field to work in, but it's a great basis for working in almost any area of life.
Right. Well, I mean, even if you look at it from the investment banks, that's what we talk about in the capital markets all the time. They are competing for the same technological talent across all industries. And as you had mentioned, Ivy League was more of like the investment banking side of the business. But now you have to integrate technology and STEM courses and so forth.
Whatever field you're in, being expert and having knowledge about what computers are and what they can do is like a superpower.
Right.
Right, and you can do better. And so really it's a launching pad for almost anything that students want to do, and they're figuring that out now.
All right, and while we have you here, can you give us some inside info, some good advice on pursuing a career in computer science?
Sure. Well, first of all, hands-on. You want to learn how to actually do things with these machines. And then what I always tell students is just try to build a portfolio of experience. Work in different sectors, try different things, try to figure out how to use your powers for good.
Yeah.
And get as much experience as you can, as early as you can.
All right, Ed, thank you so much for joining us at Market Site. And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.